oxygenation is still very good. We're not seeing any evidence of active infection. You're absolutely fine to go home. Do you still have contact with the pulmonologist?
No, I will need Nick. He's not even on my insurance.
Okay. So we'll look you up with someone to
Okay.
call on.
My mom just has a few questions. She's trying to be here.
Oh,
She's
okay.
immunocompromised, so I'm just gonna put her on speaker, okay?
Sure.
Are we also able to get a digital copy of the X-ray?
I can print you the interpretation.
Okay.
That's,
Okay.
yeah, and if you go to a pulmonologist in our network, they can look at the
Okay.
Okay, this is the
Fine.
nurse practitioner one.
Oh, hey there.
Hi.
Hey, so, wait, so what's going on?
I'm sorry, ma'am, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Alright, so here's the deal, like, I don't know what the status is right now, but, Samantha needs help to, find a pulmonologist who will be willing to see her, because there are no pulmonologists on our insurance in this area. And the last time she saw a pulmonologist, who in my opinion is inept, because he let her get to this point, that last pulmonologist, the only way she could even get to him was by going to the hospital and being connected to him through the hospital, and it had to be a cash pay. But no one else will accept cash pay. So this is where we have a dilemma. And the doctor who came in to see Samantha, seems, I don't know, she's in a really bad mood. Because she told Samantha that she doesn't know anything about this, and she's not able to treat it, and yet I'm thinking we're still gonna get it filmed. So what is going to be done so that Samantha can get better?
So we can absolutely hook her up with a pulmonologist. As far as if they take your insurance, I really have no idea. However, it's going to be the pulmonologist who's on call for us, and they're supposed to see our patients. That's why they're on call. So
Yeah.
when you make the appointment, you just say, hey, I was in the ER. I'm calling for ER follow-up. I was in Banner Desert ER. They told me to come to you. They should see you based on that. I can't guarantee what they're going to say, but I mean, typically that's how it's supposed to work.
Has anybody reached out to the on-call pulmonologist? I know it's Christmas Eve, and, I know it's a tough time, but Samantha is not getting better.
So, how she looks right now, she looks pretty good actually. I mean, I do believe that she's got something going on, but as far as her respiratory status right now, her oxygenation is very good. She doesn't have a fever. Her chest X-ray is totally clear, and her labs are totally clear. So there's nothing really a pulmonologist is going to be able to tell us without doing some further investigation in their office.
And what did you look for in the labs?
It's just basic labs to see if there's active infection, to see if there's any like electrolytes that are off. Basically,
So all normal.
yeah, absolutely.
Did you guys test for
And
valley
the
fever?
reason why we are so freaked out, aside from our past medical history, where my husband just died from ALS,
Oh, gosh.
absolutely, we didn't know where it came from.
So
Now
sorry.
all of a sudden I have cancer,
Oh,
and
jeez.
now Samantha has a recurrence of something that's not supposed to recur. So, of course, it's extremely upsetting, not only that we can't get a doctor to treat her, that we go to the emergency room, she's treated like shit by the attending, and the attending tells us she doesn't know how to treat her. So, I was very concerned, because I do know that people can drop dead out of nowhere. It happened to my husband. He was 50 years old, he's perfectly healthy. So, I am freaking out over the fact that she went to the hospital, and the status I knew so far is that there was nothing being done for her.
So I wouldn't say there's nothing being done. We checked a lot of things. I mean, in the emergency department, we're limited as to the scope of what we can do. And what we're supposed to do here is rule out, life-threatening causes. And right now, we're not seeing anything, immediately life-threatening. We need to put her in the hospital for. That's sort of the function of what we do here.
And all of her friends, everybody has friends who are nurses, and all the friends who are nurses are all telling her, your symptoms right now are dangerous, you need to go to the hospital. So now, but you're saying that everything is fine, so what's the next step? She comes home, is she coming home, is she still taking the medication that's not helping her? Or is she being given something else?
Which medication she's on? I mean, if the pulmonologist put you on fluconazole, I would continue doing that. I'm not gonna, I don't want to override that.
She was on fluconazole, and then resistance to this medication.
I mean, that may be. I would have no way of knowing that. I mean, I wish I could be more informative, but I mean, I'm seeing her based on what we've seen in the last 2 hours. I don't know all her medical history, and like I said, that's really not our function here in the ER. Our function is to rule out a life-threatening problem. Right now, we're not seeing any evidence even of active valley fever. With a clear chest X-ray, there's no evidence of disseminated infection. She doesn't have a fever, and her oxygenation is great. The next step would be to get titers, probably at the pulmonologist, and that's not a test we do here in the ER, unfortunately. But certainly we can get you hooked up with the right guy to go and get that done.
Getting her hooked up with the right person would be wonderful. Do you know who you're going to refer her to?
No, I have to look on the schedule, but certainly we have an on-call pulmonologist. I don't know who it is off the top of my head though, but it'll be on the discharge packet.
Okay, yeah, I just want to do some research on them when she gets me the information. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be on the discharge packet for you.
I appreciate it, thank you. So she's still supposed to take whatever it is.
Fluconazole. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to override anything that the specialist told you to do. I would keep doing whatever they said.
Okay.
For now, I mean, I want you to go and get reevaluated, but for now, I don't think we want to change anything.
And is she still having pain in her back when she lies down? In her lungs?
Not like that.
No.
Not even like that. When I lay flat, it feels like it's filled with fluid.
No. So she's saying it feels like there's fluid in her lungs when she lays flat, and we would see that on the chest X-ray if that were the case.
Okay, for sure.
Oh yeah.
What
Yeah,
else
that's
could
very
be
common.
giving her that sensation?
I mean, that's unfortunate. That's a really vague symptom, and it could be
Okay.
at her age. I mean, it could be that there's another infection going on. I mean, she might just have like a cold. It might be some amount of anxiety, allergies. Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
but there's certainly no reason to suspect anything, with her heart or her lungs based on what we're seeing today.
And what about the rash that she's had on her face? The doctor said something about it being makeup, but I don't think that's the case. It has to be either connected to a response she's having from the medication or to the valley fever. And I don't know if that's a
Is it only right there?
And the reason I had red man syndrome when I was given vancomycin, and I was being done into surgery, and I showed the rash to the surgeon, and she said, don't worry about it, and I almost died. So I don't know what that rash is, if it's an allergic reaction or not, but I'm extremely concerned about it.
It doesn't look like an allergic reaction. Rashes are tough to diagnose sometimes, but it does not look like an allergic reaction. We see that here all the time. That's not what it looks like at all. So,
Okay.
what it is, I'm not sure. It might be something like a contact dermatitis, which could be from makeup or from something that came in contact with the skin. But it does not look like an allergic reaction, I can tell you that.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
You very much.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright.
Okay, bye.
Right. You good to go?
So,